D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland.
Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys
and the Washington Commanders.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Little. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 32 that time.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Stafford.
On the out route, he completes it to Hall.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. They're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and 1.
Well, this defense for the Commanders, it's much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defensive coordinator in their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Jaquan Brisker, and the Commanders force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Tannehill. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a Williams loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive, and of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it is the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but
and this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one good for 37 yards. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them, because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Stafford. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Commanders are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And well, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to green light that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
On first down, it's Tannehill. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Tannehill. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this will stay at a 7-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Throwing is Stafford. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I think I downloaded that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't far.
formation on second down. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
First and 10, it's Hall.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the red zone now, Stafford. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Micah Parsons coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
After the sack on first down, Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Certainly going to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, here's Stafford.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Yeah, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
From the 27, Tannehill. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can...
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Operating from the gun.
Man. This one swung out to Williams.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Return, now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. Hey, as the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
On Stafford for the third time is intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Commanders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in the second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill.
He's going to find and complete it to Renfro.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Tannehill.
He's got Jordan complete right side. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw on 2nd down. Man. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Man. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They snap it to Tannehill. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Commanders are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tannehill on 3rd down. That's caught left side by the tight end Jordan. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
They try the left side here with Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw pulled in by Renfro. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 39. A gain there of 21 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Everson Griffin able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill got this into the hands of the tight end Jordan. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Again, it's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing. All right, they didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now Hall to start the drive. And some room to work. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Breece Hall, his third rushing touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Caught left side, Williams. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Paul again. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 123 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we have...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
To try again after the sack. Tannehill. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Stafford.
This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll go again with Hall. 172 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line bearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 3rd down, here's Wilson. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds. They've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Tannehill. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Finding room at midfield.
The 20.
And did he get in? No. They'll mark him out at the 1-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Javonte Williams
Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Throwing here, Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Little. The 40. 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 75 yards.
And the Cowboys are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, The second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Tannehill now to throw.
That one to the sideline, and a nice catch there. He stays in bounds, but a penalty marker is down as well.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar.